USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. I am so happy that you decided to join us. If you like this podcast, you should go over and listen to a bunch of the other ones in our network with like the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast or High School Hoops or Coaching Youth Hoops. All of those are, I think, interesting, and we would love if you left a 5-star review. You can leave those 1-star reviews at home. But before we jump into the topic today, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish. Mention Coach Unplugged, and you'll get $450 off. You'll get great customer service. It is, I can tell you from someone that's still coaching, it has helped my team immensely. I can't tell you the number of shots that we have taken on our Dr. Dish machines. And then also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. 25 years ago when I took over a program that no one wanted, that had 5 winning seasons in 35 years, I was the only applicant. No one wanted it. I would have killed for a resource like teachhoops.com. It took me years to turn it into a national powerhouse. And I have put all that secret sauce inside of teachhoops.com. So come over and check it out. 14-day free trial. It will give you the roadmap. It will give you me. It will give you one-on-one calls and office hours and a community of like-minded coaches. I think you'll love it. Let's head off to the podcast.
No, we're early, so or maybe not early, but
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, cool.
I was just working on practice planning. Actually, I got tryouts starting on Monday, so
same here. Exact same thing
I was doing. I was like going through.
My little 5-year-old. We had YMCA this morning, and it's interesting. Obviously, there's no parent volunteer, so I jumped in and did that, and then we start our varsity season on Monday. So, I have a list of questions.
Okay. Go ahead.
May remember me. I'm the guy that didn't win last year. So on the girls' side, what I've been noticing, and I did some AAU last spring, and it was nice because I got some wins. And what I've noticed the trend in this, I'm not brand new to girls basketball, but 3-4 years ago when I started with this, I hadn't done girls in a while.
Right.
And something that I'm picking up on is, I think people recognize, girls can't throw as far or whatever, so they deny the entry a lot on a full court press.
There is. That's and it depends on the age level, but it's definitely harder for the skip from corner to corner. It's
Correct.
hard to form from the half court to the corner. So yes, I think some of those traps and rotations work better.
Correct.
It's that, and it's height, it's strength, it's some of those things.
So I've been
huge generalization, but it's probably true.
Yeah.
Over the whole stretch, yes.
Yeah. On our open gyms, I've been really we start off right after. Typically, we stretch, and then I do a bunch of what's her name, Tara Vandermeer from Stanford. Whatever. I do a bunch of her partner passing stuff to start first 5 minutes. And we've been doing a lot of skip passing or even baseball pass, a little bit of everything. And the biggest thing is our press break, I've learned just through experience that it's one thing to have a press break. What I've added to that is my press break goes all the way through to the entry. So I have Um, I go on the right side, inbound runs to the right, looks for our point guard at the outlet spot. And I've
Right.
added a natural reaction to run the baseline, look opposite for the three coming back.
Okay.
And as that happens, I actually have my point guard come and screen the person who's trying to deny the entry pass.
Who do you
have
have
you seen
throwing?
that?
Who do you have throwing it in?
So I have my four, one of my posts, my four passing it into my one, free throw line extended.
Okay, and are you having problems? Have you had or are having problems with press break?
Not with my press break. Sometimes with the entry of the press break.
Okay, so
If we're
I
able to
like
get,
putting my point guard throwing it in,
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
unless
my
they're
my
really
issue.
tiny, because the problem is that diagonal. Once they enter it,
Uh-huh.
as long as you got a decent passer, then you have the entry, the point guard coming, passes it, and then comes in. That's a really hard pass, just virtually impossible pass to stop. And then you have your point guard with the ball going in the right direction.
Yeah, that's true. I actually used your sideline this summer.
Sideline will work
It,
forever.
it worked to a T.
It is
Perfect, no
literally
problem, whatever.
one of my proudest things is that it will always work. It really will.
It was perfect. It was too easy. I think the only issue, it was like I think we were down one, needed to the win, whatever, 5 seconds. Worked to a T. The girl just threw it, like the girl that was passed to missed the catch, whatever.
Right.
But it was so
Open.
That's in my back pocket. Trust me.
Yeah, keep that in your back pocket. But what I'm saying is sometimes, especially,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you definitely want, of the five, you want the bad one deep.
Yeah. Okay.
Like whoever can't pass, catch, shoot free throws, whatever. Yeah. I like
So
that
you
though.
had,
I like the screening part. And you can also take a charge down the stretch. Like if you saw the recent James Madison thing when they were down 6 with like 27 seconds, Google it.
I heard about it. I haven't looked at it yet.
It was crazy. Well, they took a charge on a press break. I mean, the guy took a charge. So
Awesome.
that's the only thing. You just got to be careful, but you can use it to take a charge too. If they come up and set that screen. I like that. I've seen that before. That works well.
Okay. Because so I tried it. I may have mentioned to you last year. There was one team that just pressed the heck out of everybody. They lost in the playoffs because you can't just do that. You're old. That can't be your MO.
No, it can be part of your arsenal, but it's not gonna. Yeah.
Correct. And it worked that they started going 3/4 court, even half court on us. Of course, at that point, they were physically better than everybody. And it worked. So that's what made me like stick to it. And this summer, I put it as part of our entry. I've always, and again, this is just something I learned. I've always kind of had my press break. I've never thought about entering it until I got into the girls' game a little deeper. I realized that it's an advantage to not even let us enter it. So I've added that to my arsenal.
Oh yeah, the entry is like, if I'm really good, yes. Like it's hard in the boys' games. Most stuff ends up at 3/4 court or even pushing half court
because you're going over the top, right?
Yeah, and they're big and they're in the ball handling. But you're right. Yes, I would have several different looks and entries, even using that like a 1-4 or a box set.
Yeah.
Just give people different looks. They don't adjust well to different looks.
Gotcha.
And they don't have enough time to prepare.
Gotcha. I even have something where we run somebody else out of bounds, pass it along the baseline type of thing. Okay, good. So now, do you use your point guard full time to enter the ball?
No.
Or is that just
but by half the time. The issue is I want I want my best player, my best free throw shooter to get the ball down the stretch.
Gotcha.
So sometimes I need him on the court because I need him to catch the ball.
That makes sense. The problem I'm having, well, not problem, but the thing in again, me learning the girls' game is there's teams that's their MO. They do that all game long.
Right.
As long as you can't enter the ball, they're going to keep doing that. And I guess that's why I asked the question. So,
right.
Yeah. Okay. So in your case, it's more so when they put pressure, I can use my point guard to enter.
Yes. And then I would, again, do you have a bigger girl that can throw a past half court?
I do.
Yeah. So I would run I'd have a home. it's like everything. Sometimes in football, you got to go deep once in a while just to keep them honest, to keep the secondary honest.
Okay.
You might have to go deep at one point. You might have to, pass it to the big. I mean, so I would have, especially if that's an Achilles for you, I would have a handful of options.
Handful of different things. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I would spend 25% of my practice because you can't break the press. You're never going to run your own. It doesn't matter.
Correct. Yeah.
And especially when some of my great teams, when I was better than you, I was pressing you the whole game because I'm better.
That's what I wish. So I'm in a town where everyone thinks, and I get it, everyone thinks hustle and grit and determination is going to win you games. I get it. But in my opinion, effort is the standard.
You got to have
you got to learn the game too.
You got to learn to play. You can't make chicken soup out of chicken.
Yeah.
Beef.
Okay, that's good. So basically, I'm gonna jot down basically just a handful of different entry options. If one of them should click.
And then I would work on the different ones, and then I wouldn't over dribble it, and I wouldn't and I'd work on passing, work on angles.
My thought was this year. So Monday when we start, press breaks, one of the first things I always put in. Second day, we deny that first entry. Third day, we deny the first two entries, type of thing. And third, fourth day, we're using heavy ball, that type of stuff.
Yep, heavy ball. And then again, I don't love this, but sometimes I'll put 6 defenders on and no dribbles, just so they get a sense of it. It's not, you're never going to feel that or see that, and there's no one really is open. But I'd rather have the panic with me than in the big game. So I'll do that too. It's like I'll put 7, 8 defenders. Against my really good teams, I'll just throw bodies at them. I'll literally throw 8 defenders out there against 5 because I just want them to feel like, oh God, and then that's not fair. And I go, well, life's not fair too.
So I've thought about it. I think I've heard you say that in the past. My only thing is, so now we're not really making a realistic read because there should
it's
be
not a realistic read. It's more I want them to not panic. And that's and we work on, I'd rather have you eat the ball than turn it over, which means I have the 5-second call than the bad pass.
Dead ball turnover.
They'll get a 10-second call in that. I don't care. I just, if no one's open, don't throw it. That's what I'm trying to do a couple things. 100% not realistic. 100% you'll never do that, but you will feel panicked. You will feel like, and what kills high school teams is turnovers and easy buckets.
Yeah.
When I turn it over and you get a layup, and I turn it over and you get a layup, then I got to come down and run my offense for 30 seconds. That kills you. So part of my teaching for that is I just don't want them to turn the ball. I said, you will never get yelled at for get a 5-second call ever. I will never yell at you for a 5-second call because you didn't think anyone was open. I didn't call the timeout and you got a 5-second call. Okay. We'll get back and play defense because our defense can stop them.
We should be prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. We can prepare in that. I can't prepare when you turn it over and they shoot a layup. Oh, that's what I'm just trying to teach them, that skill. I don't do it very, very often, and I do it less than I used to, but I still got to get that freaky, oh my gosh, what's happening?
No, that's good. I never thought about it like that. I was always thinking of that because I've heard those suggestions.
No, and every practice should be game like stuff. Everything should be what they see, but sometimes you gotta, teacher, I'm gonna throw a problem that's virtually impossible for you to do in my math class. But this part of it is I want you to struggle and freak out, and then I'll come help you. We'll figure it out together. But it's more teachable moments at that point that I want.
Gotcha.
All right, Coach, you have questions, James? I see you down there.
Hey, how's it going, Coach?
It's good. It's my typical Saturday night. What am I doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. So we had our scrimmage today. Our season started with tryouts last Saturday, and we had a scrimmage today. Oh, man, it was a major collision. 27 turnovers we had today. 27. Yeah. Well, what happened, I'll have to tell you, is I have 5.
That's too many, Coach.
Yeah, 5 years I have on my team. I only had 1.
Okay.
Illness, guys not going to practice. So you don't practice, you don't play. guys going out for soccer tryouts, guys were not committed. So I had to play some of my younger guys more minutes and a lot of errors. But here's the question. Here's where I'm leading to. I actually, because I was low on numbers, I actually brought up 2 JV kids.
Mm-hmm.
2 men. They played better than my bench varsity guys.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't know what to do with that.
You pull them up. I mean, that's what I do. It's like
problem solved.
I mean, you run a talented and gifted program for basketball players. Like I've told you, if they're good enough, they should play. If they're not, then they shouldn't play. It's like, but was there lessons learned on those 27 turnovers? Did you film it?
There will be a film session on Monday, but yeah, I mean, it's just inexperience. I mean,
that's all it is. It's just they don't know. And they also don't know that you have to respect the basketball. And what I tell them is because they think you and I are old farts and we don't know anything. Then I say, go watch an NBA game or a top 10, men's NCAA game, and tell me they're turning the ball over all the time. You tell me that, show me that, and then I'll stop talking. Show me the guys that are turning the ball over all the time and still playing. For Michigan or for Tennessee. Tell me that. Where are they? And then they'll go home and they'll watch it and they won't find any, because you don't play if you turn the ball over like that. You're not playing in the NBA if you come down and have 4 turnovers in a row. What are you talking about? So it's not like your standards are any different than anybody else's. They're used to a turnover doesn't mean anything because they're playing 6 games on a Saturday.
Yeah. So no, everything you're saying, I'm going to reiterate on Monday, but my concern is I took 14 guys. So I have 1 uniform available. If I bring 2 JV, but like I said, I've got 3 guys ineligible. You
don't get a jersey number if you're ineligible. I don't give you a jersey number.
Okay. And you know what? You're making me think at no point is everybody going to be eligible at the same time?
No.
So you're going
and first of all, if you don't even get a jersey number until you're eligible, so these JV guys are at least eligible, they get a jersey number.
Okay.
That's my theory. It's like,
and I guess part of it's feeling a little guilty about taking him from my JV coach, but he can take some of the talented guys from the freshman team.
Okay, first of all, you are the major leagues. I've had this discussion with my JV coach. You're the major leagues. They're AAA. So if the AAA coach wants somebody, they go steal them from the double coach. Yeah. It's the way it works. It's like, that's what my coach, I was thinking, I'm trying to figure out my numbers because I start on Monday, and it's like, he wants me to keep more. I want to keep a little less. I said, and it's usually 28 between the two of us. We try to do between 28 and 30. Yeah, I said, well, if I need one, I'll just come grab it from you. It's like, no. It's like, all right, here we go.
Okay, so one last question before I see you have another coach on. And
okay.
One other question about this is, so I was actually talking to my assistant today. I'm like, did we make a mistake? Because honestly, I knew these JV players were better than some of the guys I took. And they were either because they were like program guys that have been there all summer, but they weren't as good as these JV guys. Also, we picked up a couple guys that were like football player kind of guys, or you know what I mean? And so I'm like wondering, next year, do we just assume we may need to take some JV guys rather than just filling spots on the roster? Talk to me about that.
I could walk in your gym right now and tell you the top 8 to 10 players in a second. The winning programs are from 11 through 15, if you keep 15, because those have to be the ones that are going to buy in. They're going to, for their program people, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so my theory is if you're a senior and you're really not good enough you're not in my top 8, it's really hard for me to keep you because you're not going to play very much. Now, maybe you play more. There's been years I've played 10. Okay. So if you're a senior and you're not in my top 10, I'm keeping a sophomore or junior. That's you got to be so much better because you're not going to play, and you're not going to be happy not playing as a senior, and you're the 11th man. Now, again, there's exceptions to every rule. There's those kids that come along, and I've had handfuls of them, but they're very those kids. Like, one of them lived like 2 blocks that way, and I've known him, and I knew he was like he didn't play. He was on our first state championship team, but I knew he would understand that this is where you are in the world. Those are becoming less and less, I find, but they are out there. So it's not a uniform rule, but I believe in youth. I'm going to start 3 sophomores this year, and on a top 10 team in the state, probably.
Yeah.
And if I could play 8th graders, I'd play 8th graders if they're good enough. I don't care. It's like,
careful what you wish for. I was forced to do that last year.
Yeah, and the thing is, we can in our state. I don't know about California. Can you play 8th graders? No, we can't play 8th graders. Minnesota, you can play 8th graders.
No, we can.
We can't. So anyway,
New York is anything.
Anything goes. No, it's no. So anyway, but that's, and again, I coach kind of the way I live my life. I go with my gut, because my gut usually tells me the right stuff, tells me the right thing to do. Not always, but most of the time. And your gut probably told you one thing and your heart told you something else, and you went with your heart rather than your gut. Is that true?
Coach, I don't know the other coach, but we're very lucky to have this man as our mentor. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's true, right? I mean, that's my feeling. I don't know. I've made mistakes. Did I ever tell you? I got to tell both of you a story before I take your question. So my first year coaching, we were newlyweds. We had been married 5 months. It's the only time my wife has said something about who I keep on a team. One person, his name was Danny Rainbow, was 25 years ago. Funny. Anyway, yeah, he was not happy the whole season. And I knew I shouldn't have kept him. But newlywed kept him. Ooh, yeah. Great kid. That's why I kept him, because I went with my heart rather than my gut. Anyway. Yeah. Always go with your gut, especially when picking your team. All right, questions. You coach, you said you had other questions.
Yeah, I had more. So this week, we start Monday as well.
Yep.
So I typically have gone, like, let's say I'm in a small school where cuts aren't an issue. It's just what level you're gonna play, right?
Right.
So I basically start on day one. I start putting in stuff. I've always gone like, okay, Monday we're gonna go over our press break. Tuesday is gonna be our, on a make defensively, and so on and so forth. This year, I'm looking to go whole, kind of on everything. Yep. So on Monday, I'm thinking to go, 20 minutes transition offense, 20 minutes press break, 20 minutes diamond press, 20 minutes half court defense. Is that too much?
Okay, so I'm in a little different boat, but what's the most important thing to you?
I would say,
or the program,
yeah.
Same thing.
I would say half court defense and half court offense, because
that's all I do Monday
on day one. Okay,
I do that. Whatever again, teacher for a long time, whatever you emphasize they're going to do. And I would lean into that. Yeah, I would lean into that hard.
Okay.
What do you want? Yeah, that's what I would do. I would just, whatever you think you want to emphasize, that's what I'd lean into. I was grabbing mine to see what I had here for don't see the activities in here. But that's what I would do. I would just lean into that.
Okay.
I wouldn't over, like, you're going to win games by playing offense and playing defense. You can worry about the press. Yeah, I mean, those are the two things I would lean into. Like, I have to make cuts, but I'm still doing man defense. I'm working on a basic offense. I'm doing some shooting. I have to scrimmage because I'm doing tryouts, so I have to see him run a little bit.
Yeah.
But those are that's my first day. Morning is a lot of skill work, but we go 2 a days for the first 2 days, and then after that, hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, we love those, and send me an email, steve@teachhoops.com. Tell me what you want to hear in the future. Also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Memorial Day doorbuster deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, Rewards members save $80 on the Master Forge 4-burner gas grill, now just $149. Plus, Rewards members save $900 on the Lowe's exclusive Hisense French door refrigerator, now only $999. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.